wearing the FACEIT hoodie.
Yeah,
And it's time for the grand final of the Road to Quakecon tournament run by FACEIT. And I'm very curious how this is going to go. Averages and Meltdown. Meltdown clear favourites for life.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
I think this is going to be another 2-0 sweep. And when I say 2-0 sweep, I mean winning the TDM and the CTF, not 2-0 necessarily in TDM. Is there any way for averages? Because averages were above average in the last game.
So we have maps. So let's talk about the maps so we can go through
Let's talk about averages.
So, we can talk about the averages.
Do you remember what they are?
Maps.
Do you remember the maps?
Dreadful Place, picked by Meltdown, and then we have
Grim
DM14,
Dungeons.
Grim Dungeons, picked by Meltdown
Averages.
as well. They picked everything. Yeah, picked by averages. It makes a lot of sense because they're thinking, okay, we don't want to play the crazy aim-based maps. Let's play a more strategical map.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And then Purgatory as a decider if it's required. I think Purgatory, that'd be actually very hard for averages to win that. So I think that they need to win this in 2. I think they need to win Dreadful Place. And that could be very tough. We already saw what Meltdown did to deliberate murder on Dreadful Place.
Yeah.
That bodes really well for Meltdown. So I'd be surprised to see them losing that.
Can Noctis bring them to victory? I honestly think that Meltdown can do really averages can do really well in the TDM. I think if they're going to win one of the game modes, it's going to have to be TDM. They've got the perfect candidates to do that, but it's just the raw aim that you're going up against in Meltdown that's just really, really difficult sometimes, and that's one thing that Noctis does struggle with. If someone's out-aiming him, then it kind of distorts his view of the game.
Yeah, okay, so first map, Dreadful Place, do you think that we're going to see averages being able to actually contest this? Do you think this will just go straight up to Meltdown, or do you think it's going to be back and forth?
I think they contest it, absolutely.
Okay.
I think they are going to need a start that isn't absolutely awful, though.
Yeah.
They need to get, either the Mega or, Lightning Gunner, or maybe get some control of the Railgun and Red, something like that. They need to be able to challenge that first quad. And if it doesn't spiral downwards out of control with Meltdown, just aiming everywhere, controlling all the major items they need, the major weapons as well, then it could very well, I think we could be in for a good game. But I have no doubt, even if they do have about the first 10 minutes, Noctis is the kind of guy who can kind of snap his people or his team back into action and get something really good going.
We have more duelers, I guess, more raw duelers on this team, I suppose. Although that said, yeah, I guess that's fair enough.
Definitely.
Yes, and this map is all about timing items, a lot about getting the pickups. And I would expect both teams to want to play the Lightning Gun yellow Mega side of the map, because you can very easily go down into the railgun there, and giving up the red is okay because you can always peek in and get damage with the rail and stuff and keep them down. It's just about the weapons. So we're going to go in straight away.
Let's do it.
This is map number 1 here between averages and Meltdown here for the finals of the Road to Quakecon.
We are on winz at the moment, though, getting the Mega very quickly, a shotgun as well, which is always nice. This is definitely, well, at least as far as it goes for winz, a pretty decent start. But Noctis there, just diving with the LG, getting rid of all the Mega Stack and more. He might even get a frag on winz, and that is going to be first blood to Noctis.
Alright, so winz be spotted here by the railgun, but it has been taken. Can he get the second one? He's playing for that second one. I don't know if there's going to be anyone to actually stop him. Now, will it be an early quad, or will it be a later quad?
Well,
we just hit the 30-second mark, so it could be soon.
Sometimes we know when the quad is up on the timer, but sometimes we're not allowed to know. So this is going to be a surprise for us and the players. And it's actually going to be soon. Tox with a decent armor stack. He's got himself a shotgun to play with as well. That's looking pretty good. The red's going to be up any second, and yeah, this is a nice start for Meltdown. And Tox manages to avoid the rocket damage. He just flies in, grabs himself another frag, 2 frag, make it 3 in a second. Sparty trying to whittle a stack down, 4th frag here. Tox is on a rampage right now.
And look how he's swinging back for all the items. He's going to control the LG as well. But that's really nice by Fazz. He took away the ammunition. He took away that could have been an extra pickup for a teammate. And Toxic could very well have saved that for a teammate. But no, that's going to be stolen away. So Toxic has to do a lot by himself here. His teammates don't have all that much to support him. And his health and his armor is going down. He's going to get forced out of the room. He needs to support here. He could drop something to a teammate. Now he's getting lower and lower. But he's going to fall back into red. And his team have that under control. So you can see he's starting to play really efficient. And they're all going to be bullying these averages guys away from the railgun, which Toxic's going to pick up, and he's going to just discard one weapon to a teammate. He's got almost all the weapons now as well. So they know when the rail is, they know when the red is, they know when the Mega is, and they know when the LG is. They have all those item times under control, but how will they play them, these Meltdown guys?
I was kind of thinking of just switching to another player, but you don't really need to when it's Tox.
Good timing here. This should be spawning any second. Or was it already taken? Was he late?
I don't know if someone's been offsetting it a little bit, but it should have been up any second now. Tox just getting himself the red, and as soon as he's got this, then he's going to be back to work.
And he's got to be a little bit cognizant of not taking too crazy engagements. Like just playing far away with the railgun's really nice, because you want to be able to just sustain your stack for this quad that's coming up. And Toxic looks really good for it still. He's 20 seconds till that quad is going to be spawning, as we can see, and he's still putting the pressure on towards LG, and he can fall back onto the red first, which would be really strong if he did that, then go to quad afterwards.
He's kind of just lurking. As you say earlier, you don't need Tox to have much in terms of stack for him to do a lot with it. I think having the red is like, well, that's way more than I need.
It's been up for like 10 seconds now, no one's touched it. Very interesting, considering that there's almost nobody here for averages at the quad.
Is he going to get... Oh my god! Oh, the red was just taken. I thought he managed to save it just then. But he's still 3 frags. Did he kill a teammate as well?
He did.
So kind of 2, technically.
Thinking it's collateral. Toxic, he's in a spot where he could just go absolutely ham. But he's going to miss a couple of those shots, so slow down a little bit.
And he's actually pretty close to death at the moment. Sparty, he might be able to get the frag on him there. The rail is going to hit. Just a machine gun out. Yeah, easy little frag right at the end. 35 to 22.
This start from Toxic is actually ridiculously scary. How many kills has he got in a row now?
How long have we been watching him for?
We've been watching him for ages. I think we've been watching him for 3 minutes now.
I mean, let's keep him. Let's just see what he does. I'm fascinated by his ability to stay alive long, do the damage, and he's still getting to the objectives when he needs to. When he gets this red, this is just going to reset the rampage, and he'll be able to continue. Give the lad a little bit of health, and he's happy to continue.
Where's that health? There's all the health that's been taken so far that he's walked by. There's 225s that usually would spawn on the left here, but they've been taken as well. So just playing it passively again, and cost him 40 seconds. Again, it'll be very interesting to see if averages can get back on the board, but the fragging has kind of stopped since Toxic has been low on HP.
Oh, that's enough extra health there where he can continue his endeavors. There's the 225s up there. He's got to be careful moving into this room. Averages have got that one unlocked down, and Toxic's going to be able to escape before anything worse happens to him. 20 seconds now to quad. You can see that Meltdown are trying to keep this room on hold. The averages 1 in. Fazz going down. Tox going to take down Noctis. I think there's another of them. Sparty lurking, and Tox is going to get another kill. He's on 6 health. Is he finally going to die? Is 4 minutes of Tox play going to come to an end and have himself reset in the weapons?
We're
going to check out Linkin. Tox is still alive though.
He's playing so goddamn well. It's amazing to witness. And right now Linkin is going to be running the quad, so he may be standing witness to more sickness here as he moves in with a nice shot on the rail. Going to take control over this red armor and speed away to more fragging. And there it is. Another player spotted. Another corpse claimed by Linkin's Fury with that quad. And it's just not stopping at the moment. More and more damage. He's starting to run out of the quad. He's in an exposed position. Needs to get the frags faster. Not die here, but he cannot beat Tox. Only Tox can just live forever. I think Tox is still probably alive. Yeah, he's still alive. He's actually still alive, and he has everything. He gave away his railgun, so...
I really want to like put the scoreboard in a moment. If we have a moment, it's very difficult to do that and just see how many times he's died. But it's just constant action at the moment. 50 health. Are one of these 2 average players going to be able to take him down? Oh, I think his teammate... Wow, Demon's going to go down. There's another spawn by the LG, and Tox continues. Oh, trying to wave that LG up in the air. 55 to 31 right now. And this is Meltdown's map.
He hasn't died yet.
He hasn't died this entire game.
Oh my god.
Wow.
In 6 minutes, this guy has not died once. He's been so close, so many times.
Oh, they're all here. This is it. Tox goes down 21 to 1.
Oh my god. That was absolutely monstrous.
That is really getting a good KD.
A grand finals.
Holy crap, Tox.
Tox showing how it's done.
I think right now the Americans who are thinking maybe they can stand a chance to get a win in TDM are like, okay, let's just give up completely. Averages are going to have to stay really strong here to compose themselves a little bit. We need Noctis to strategize nicely. The players on that team need to not get too emotional with everything. But as Tox now is struggling to get back into the form he was in the first 6 minutes, I think we should go and check out some of maybe the averages players.
Yeah, got the quad coming up as well. Linkin's going to grab that one, and he's been the only other man that's been important enough for the camera recently as Toxic has finally died. He's going to pick up the second quad of the game. He'll be claiming more frags, moving it towards Mega. It's looking really good at the moment. That's 3 kills there with the shotgun. He's locking it down towards LG. You can see that averages are investing a lot of players into this area despite the quad being present there. They're going to try to taper off a little bit, but that's going to give a lot of items here to Meltdown. They are looking so good at the moment. And especially with Toxic, I mean, if we look at the difference that he made, like plus 20 by not dying at all, and that's basically
most of the lead.
Exactly.
Just wow, really. Linkin's quad has eventually come to an end. I'm going to switch. I'm going to give some cam time to the averages players. Noctis not playing with much stack at the moment, but he does get a Mega, but he's under a lot of pressure. Losing that Mega immediately, the 50 health bubble will give him a good hand. But let's go around, see if anyone else. Demon has a tiny bit of extra sack, but no sort of weapons to play with. That red just was taken. Sparty has got an LG, which is interesting. This is a nice weapon to play with. Oh, there's just so much pressure from above. Sparty's going to go down eventually. Let's cycle between more. Noctis, TDM legend.
Oh my god, Toxic
got taken down by the other one.
He's getting all these vertical rail connections, just not stopping at all. And, well, Demon is fighting back. He just got a couple of shotgun frags in with the quad spawning in 30 seconds. Again, we start to see, okay, who's starting to stack up, who's building into that quad. Fazz with 2 frags there on the rail as well, so that's pretty good to see. Him getting some back-to-back fragging action is going to create some space for averages towards these items. You can see Toxic is fresh off the spawn there, finally dealt with. I think it was Fazz that did kill him with his rail, so that's really nice because Toxic was a massive menace in the Mega Room. But see, we've got this quad spawning in 10 seconds. It's looking quite interesting. Everyone's turning up late. This is going to be a very, very important one.
Toxic's going to go down before the quad spawns, I think. Noctis, can you get the last couple of shotgun blasts off onto him? And it's actually going to be Linkin. He is going to go down, so Fazz managing to deny the quad at least quickly.
That angle on the rail was ridiculous. I think Fazz got that like belly as he's falling back off into the jump pad. That was awesome.
A very important rail as well, actually. I mean, they were managing to bring the difference back to only 20 frags. I think the whole defensive period, or the battle for the quad, has allowed MD to get a tiny bit further into the lead where they were before. But I think averages they're desperately trying to compose themselves at the moment.
It's very interesting stuff so far. Toxic, there's this thing that this term in CS that Anders coined recently, the raid boss. I think I'm just going to take it out of the context and I'm just going to apply that because it sounds awesome to Toxic at the moment. He's the raid boss of this team. And it's pretty hard to take him down, but it's going to be
Demon's late for Mega.
Here, actually won by averages in the Mega Room, so you can see that they really they don't want to just settle on the secondary control, the red and maybe the rail. They want the LG. They don't want to give this up to Meltdown, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
Sparta being able to pick up a couple of frags, but he's terribly weak now, and it's going to be Tox take him down. Let's see if I can get onto some others. Noctis has actually got some really nice weapons. The stack is awful, and he really needs to get that frag to get the Mega for his team. I don't know if he'll pick it up. I can't see who took the Mega health in the end, but Noctis getting some alright damage towards the end there. Let's go switch over to some other Fazz. Tiny bit of armor to play with. Shotgun, he managed to take down zyrinx. winz will probably go down as well. And he manages to pick up the lightning gun as well, so it might be 3 frags here. zyrinx will go down once more. Give that LG to a teammate. Wasted opportunity there for Fazz, but it's okay. He got some good frags down at that rail area.
Yeah, I think Fazz is actually having a really good game. I think Noctis hasn't been turning up just yet. I think Fazz has been maybe MVP so far for averages. I mean, we should check the scoreboard after this quad situation.
I want to go over to Sparty. He's got a nice stack, but Linkin's actually going to get on the quad. Team averages just a tiny bit slow to get there. They really need to start challenging for that quad at the right time. And Linkin with this extra Mega. Oh dear.
That was so quick, and he's going to get the LG. He's going to kill another player who's carrying one for his teammates. That's going to be a really nice move. It's going to bolster the arsenal of his team's efforts in getting these extra kills into this one. And extra control of the map as well. Linkin's just powering through onto that red armor room as well, and he's going to barrel them down with that quad LG. And it's looking really strong again for Meltdown. They look so good to just hold on to their lead, if not build it up even further. As they take most of the map. They know all the times as well, or at least they should. But they're going to have averages down by the rail again, trying to keep the rail control up. And, looks like we have Meltdown starting to move into this position though. So Demon and Fazz doing a good job, I think, overall.
Yeah, Demon's trying to have a good go at this. Falling at the hands of Tox a lot earlier on, but with 6 health, I don't know what he's going to be able to pull off right now. See if he's... What's his position that he wants to go to? He's just really trying to get any resources he can, but I don't know what he's going to be able to do in terms of fighting. winz, gets him down with 1 health left. Linkin will eventually finish him off. And I think I might switch over to some Meltdown players in a moment. Let's see if we can get over Linkin, though. He's a starting stack, essentially winz as well. Zyrinx has got some weaponry and, well, had the Mega with him, but he's lost that immediately after taking a rail.
Yeah, so now it's going to be a much closer difference since, I mean, Toxic, he did a lot of efforts that were helpful early on to Meltdown, but they've been falling behind a little bit. Averages are really coming back into this, and they've been doing so well at picking up railguns, and that was a really huge deal, actually. The rails come into, great effect.
Zyrinx has just given up on the quad. The averages have just had that completely cleanly.
For free.
There was no challenge at all.
So let's see how impactful it is.
This is a big chance for averages. Fazz has got a nice stack at the moment. Should be an easy frag on Linkin. He's got the red behind him. This is finally some good news for averages. But Fazz is really going to have to go big here. He's got 10 seconds of quad left. winz is going to go down. Needs to push him. Tox taken down as well. Linkin respawns in a horrible place. And there's still some stack left on Fazz. Trying to find a rail shot. No enemies in sight. But still a brilliant quad run from Fazz.
Yeah, and this is going to close the gap massively, and now it's just a mere 10, 15 frags or so, or 19 frags rather, as we are going to see averages moving back into this one, and you can see they picked up the red, they got some weapons away from Meltdown. This is going to make their efforts onto the LG and Mega Room much easier. Fazz is still going at it. He's really having such a strong, dreadful play so far, but it is, of course, going to be Linkin that takes him down finally. And he had a lot of stuff to work with there, so that really sucks in Fazz's position. But he's going to steal away this yellow way by the LG. They need to kill him faster, and there it is. Double teamed. And Team will steal away that rocket launcher. So this is looking not too bad for averages, to be honest. They're still in this one.
They absolutely are, but they need to keep getting those quads. I think that was a big error for MD to give up that quad so easily. If they do it 1 or 2 more times, then we could see a very even game. Averages have got to make sure they keep challenging that hard for the next quad damage.
So I'm curious, how is Tox doing at the moment? Let me check the scoreboard real quick. Let's see. So Tox...
27 net.
So he died quite a lot here in comparison to how well he was doing, but he is doing really well still, of course. So really carrying a little bit here is Toxic, but here it is, the quad effort coming in from both teams. The assault is on right now from averages. They make their way in, and the quad is going to be spawning very soon.
Still time for them to challenge, actually. 5 seconds left. winz is going to be slow to get there. We're going to see eventually who picks up the quad, but it's Zyrinx. He's got a tiny bit of stack to play with. And just as they close the gap to 20 frags, it's now gone back to almost 30. They're struggling to, once they apply the pressure, they're struggling to keep that pressure going.
Yeah, I mean, Zyrinx, he can be in the shadow of players like Toxic sometimes, but let's see if he can deliver here in the big game. He's going to get pinned down from both sides by Plasma, and that's going to be the end of him. So, see now whether or not averages can hold on to this room, because Zyrinx didn't really do anything. Didn't have a big impact there towards the Mega LG. And we can see the averages are holding it quite well, but this 30 frag lead here from Meltdown means that they are regaining some control into the map and into the fragging as well. Averages not having the best time of it here. They were at a 20 frag difference, but it's starting to go much better for Meltdown again, despite the fact that they're getting items, which is kind of weird.
It's like the beginning of the game is kind of still affecting the result at the moment. All that work Tox did, it's still essentially the difference here. Otherwise, it would be a very tight match.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, averages right now, they're not really overextending. They're playing together. They're dropping weapons for each other. They're turning up at all the major items like the LG, the rail, the Mega, and the yellows. They're only really leaving up the red. And that's how you play the primary on this map. But what they have to do from this is not take too much damage if they possibly can, and then build it into a nice quad defense, hopefully 15 to 20 seconds earlier than it spawns. Just already get their setup for it. And if they can do that, maybe they can get back into this. But if this next quad does not go their way, I don't think this is going to happen for them.
It's already so difficult for them to come back as it is. If they lose the next quad, yeah, absolutely right. No chance at all for them to get back into it. I'm going to go see if I can find some MD players over here. winz waiting for this red that's about to spawn. He's got no weapons other than the machine gun.
So Quad and 10, and this is the moment. This is the huge moment here for both teams. This either secures Meltdown into a victory, or it's going to doom averages in the process, or averages will pick it up. But it looks like they have no challenge on it, which means that Meltdown did such good work, like 20 to 30 seconds before, just whittling down players and making them go out of position, catching them off guard in frags. And winz is going ham right now in the red armor room. He is making all the frags happen. He's completely resetting them again. They just died before the quad as well, so they don't have anything to work with. Nice.
Wow. I think it's over, at least for map number 1 here. This was MD's map pick, though. We will be going over to Grim Dungeons, a much slower map, actually, that we'll see after, where we'll be able to discuss more strategic questions. At least I'll be able to ask maybe questions to DDK and can explain stuff to me.
Grim Dungeons is such a classic. It's been around since, well, it's a stock Quake 3 map.
Yeah.
It's been around forever. And it's not really been changed all that much at all, really, to be honest. It's pretty much the same map.
And it's been very popular. It's very popular among the players. It does give that extreme slow tactical side. It feels like the lost world of TDM maps, essentially.
It used to be the map where you could beat Sweden. So if you're having problems with Sweden, go to Grim Dungeons, and you could actually try to win there. Because Sweden back in the day, they were always about having amazing individual skill, and they would always best you on a damage output and stuff. The open maps were very good for them, you know, the campgrounds and.
Let's give those weapons away.
Was DM7 is it Retribution or something? What's
yeah, Retribution. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So DM7 as well is always quite good for them. It's the only like really open map that, for example, teams with lesser skill could do quite well on, because you can still play tactically, situationally quite well there, despite it being very open and in the main areas. But Grim Dungeons is very strategic, and the tactical edges you can get there if you're a smart player are very high. So we would expect averages to have a good shot, solid shot on that map. Depends on how the start goes. There's lots of things that can happen on that map, but yeah, this looks pretty good. And to be honest, you can see why it was chosen by Meltdown. Their individual skill is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that said, what if Toxic doesn't go 20 for 20 in the first 6 minutes? What happens then?
It's it could be a close one. Again, I don't think that averages had the best start. And I guess it depends, because really when you get to Grim Dungeons, do you want the quad side or the battlesuit side?
Yeah. And
averages, presumably they want to get control of the red room and get the battlesuit. And that's what they'll have to fight for. And what I don't want to see going on to Grim Dungeons is teams just being like, oh, well, we'll just live on the quad side and, you know, hope we get more frags than them. I want to see challenges for that red room. I want to see them really putting pressure on it. And if they don't win it for one cycle, perhaps they've got to keep challenging until they get that side of the map.
Yeah, the battlesuit with all the changes since the original Grim Dungeons it became so much more important, because it's just so much better as you get so much more protection from it. Because before it used to be that like damage would work normally, but you just wouldn't take environmental damage or splash damage.
Yeah.
So that used to be the thing before, but these days, you know, there's a huge amount of protection. I'm not sure exactly what the data is. It's like, it feels like it's 90% protection or something, like damage that's soaked up. But
look at the net for Tox. If he hadn't had that net, 28 taken away, that's the lead cut more than in half. 7.3k, 7.4. So much damage done by the MD guys, and yeah, struggling from team averages. I would have liked to have looked at the items and stuff a bit more. I just want to get a copy and paste of it.
Yeah.
On my face.
For your face.
Yeah. Well, we can have a look. I mean, nice little stats to look at. After all, I'd love to have some kind of stuff where you can engage, you know, like the CS they have with those player ratings and stuff like that. I'd love to get that at the end of a tournament especially at Quakecon. I think it'd be really cool to have that for individual players.
There's so much you can do with stats. That's possible in theory.
Stats are fun, yeah.
So much that's possible. But yeah, that's map 1. I think convincing. Would you have expect? I didn't expect actually to be that
convincing in the end, but there was a point during the game where averages were going 30 frags down, and they were starting to build it up again. But then in Meltdown, they just reapplied the pressure, and it was too much for averages in the end.
Yeah, I mean, Fazz played really well actually. He was doing a lot of work because when Tox was on that crazy spree, the only player that was really because he was able to do so much and be so efficient that he kept removing all the advantages weapon-wise for the other team. It was only Fazz who was like, okay, I'm actually going to survive this onslaught of Toxic and get some stuff done with my railgun. It's like holding my rail here. Yeah. But looks like we'll go to a quick break, guys.
Quick one.
A super quick break, and we're back with map number 2, which will be Grim Dungeons, which is the choice of averages here for the grand final of the Road to Quakecon.